Hey everybody, Kimber from Moksha Yoga and Wellness here to chat with you today about Ayurveda for springtime. So, as we know, Ayurveda is a super seasonal science. So one of the best ways that we can start to access all of its healing properties is just start to tune in with what's going on seasonally, matching what's going on internally with what's going on externally. And Ayurveda is a totally one-stop shop for all of our holistic health and wellness advice. So you don't have to worry, it covers all the bases about food, exercise, lifestyle, sleep, all the things. So, how to know that you are out of balance in springtime. It can feel like you're just slow, sluggish, lethargic. It's harder for you to get the motivation to just get up and do things. Maybe there's water retention, maybe you're congested in your sinuses, maybe you have really congestive seasonal allergies, maybe you've lost your appetite. All of these are signs of excess kapha dosha. So in Ayurveda, there are three main energy types that show up within us and in the world around us. And in springtime, we all get a little bit extra dose of kapha. Kapha is based in the elements of earth and water, so it's heavy and dense and grounded, has this beautiful staying quality. But just like anything, too much of a good thing can lead to some of those symptoms that we just talked about. So in Ayurveda, we always balance with the opposite. So the opposite of this heavy, dense, sluggish is light and bright. That's your mantra for everything to do in springtime. So starting with your diet, starting to lighten that up. In winter, we could eat a lot of hefty fats, a lot of meat products if we're meat eaters, but in spring we're trying to move away from fats and heavy to light. So lots and lots of vegetables. You can start drinking those smoothies again, those green juices, all of those things. We also want to spice it up just a little bit with the pungent taste. So the best thing we can do for ourselves in spring is ginger. Fresh ginger to any of our recipes is going to do wonders. But also turmeric, black pepper, lemon, all of these are spices that have that pungency as well. Just give a little kick to all of that heavy kapha to keep us balanced and healthy. We can also trade out wheat and really heavy grains for lighter, slightly drying grains, things like buckwheat and corn. But just notice, if you have a big old piece of sourdough on a spring day, notice if it starts to make you feel congested or hold on water or puffy. Same thing with dairy. This isn't the best time of year to be eating dairy, so avoiding it as much as you can, or substituting things like goat's cheese in place of cow's cheese, which is a lot lighter, easier to digest. For protein, we're thinking lean proteins. Beans are really great this time of year. White meat if you're a meat eater as well. And of course, lots and lots and lots of bitter vegetables. If you really tune in, you may notice your body is just asking for so many more green things this time of year. All the leafy greens. Go for it. So that's kind of our diet in a nutshell. Light and bright. Lots of vegetables, away from the heavy fats, the really dense, simple starches, away from a lot of the fatty types of meat. So, as you can imagine, exercise, light and bright, it is the season of movement. It's about getting out there, moving a ton, sweating, really just getting that water element out of us. So great for Tabata and HIIT and more of these aerobic, high-intensity sort of exercise styles. The best thing would be first thing in the morning when you get up, doing a workout then. Working out outside is great this time of year, and like I said, that emphasis on doing something that makes you sweat is really helpful for kapha. But if you do nothing else to help your kapha, movement is some of the best medicine this time of year. Third thing is sleep. So in winter, we could sleep 8 or 10 hours a night and it was great. But the thing with kapha is excess kapha can lead to excess sleep, which can lead to just this groggy, constantly tired feeling. So making sure you're getting around that 8-hour sleep mark, but it's not the time of year when we probably can get away with that 10 hours quite so much anymore, and limiting the nap time during the day as well. If you're feeling really exhausted, like you need to nap, then it might be time to think about a cleansing sort of rejuvenation or making sure that you're actually getting deep sleep when you are sleeping. but we can troubleshoot that in another video. Then, of course, lifestyle recommendations, of which Ayurveda has a lot. So saunas are super great for kapha season. I mean, how awesome is that? Are any of us going to complain that we're being told we need to go hang out in the sauna in springtime? The reason saunas are great is that they're warming, so kapha has this kind of cold quality to it. Like those days outside in the springtime when it's just cold and rainy and you don't want to do anything but just like curl up on the couch, that's kapha. So saunas are warm, which is inherently balancing to the cold. But the thing about saunas is they're not more wet, they're more dry. So kapha already has a lot of wetness, a lot of dampness. We don't need more of that. We want to balance with the opposite. So a dry heat is going to be really, really helpful for kapha. If you live in a desert environment, you're already at a little bit of an advantage here. But thinking about kapha, that heaviness, that water retention, for most of us is going to show up in our sinuses, super commonplace. So neti pot is a great thing to do preventatively. If you're not familiar, you can buy a neti pot at a health food store online, and you're just cycling warm salt water through your nasal passage. It sounds super weird until you do it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You don't realize how much gunk is actually up in there until you get it all out. So there are plenty of other videos out there about how to neti, so I won't make one. Feel free to look at them though. But also, I would recommend, Ayurveda has a lot of just DIY at-home tonics for breaking up congestion. The neti works best as a preventative, making sure we're not going to get congested in the first place. But if you feel some congestion creeping on, I'll link here to one of my other videos that's a DIY at-home Ayurveda decongestant, and there are a ton of great recipes out there with that pungency, that kick to break up all the mucus and expel it. So much better for us than popping a Mucinex. So if you watch my other videos, you've heard me talk about the benefit of taking care of our skin in Ayurveda, of daily massage with oil. Well, oil can have that heavy, cold, dense quality of which kapha already has. So if you feel like your kapha is out of balance this time of year, we don't necessarily need to oil, but we still want to care for our skin so we can dry brush our skin. So that can be as simple as taking your hands. If you're super bougie, you can do it with silk gloves. Or what I have is just a natural fiber skin brush. I'll grab it. Okay, here's my brush. So this is what I use in place of my oil massage this time of year, just to stimulate circulation, lymphatic circulation, wiping off dead skin cells, super good to wake up in the morning. It may feel weird the first couple times you do it, but at least for me, I found that after a time, like my body was asking for it. It was into it. So check that out. This is a Yerba Prima brand. I don't know anything about them, but this one's lasted me a really long time, and I really, really like it. So those are kind of the big points to think about kapha season, light and bright. So lightening up our diet away from the dense, heavy nutrition of winter, lightening up our exercise, moving around as much as we can, lighting up our sleep, and our lifestyle with sauna and neti and dry brush. So I hope that you find that helpful as you start to tweak your spring routine to match the seasons. Let me know what questions you have down below. And if you're not already, get on my email list so I can send you things like free spring tip sheets and daily checklists to keep you on track with being the healthiest person that you know. So see y'all later.